am now live. Ooh. Wait. Hi. This is so weird. Can you hear me? Hi. Please tell me you can hear me. Oh, shit. Emma? Can you hear me? No? Yes? Yeah, thank God. I'm like, oh no. Hi. Yes, awesome. I'm like, oh no. And hey, I got potty mouth, so I'm not holding back. It is how I am. I was born in that way. Can hear you perfect. Thank you. Thank you, beauty. By Anna. I'll just call you Anna. Elena. Hello, Elena. Hi, Lena! Lena and I talk all the time. Of course, now she's crazy with university, so I've been telling Lena that we have to break society's rules or stupidity, actually ignorance on how women who are smart shouldn't know anything about makeup. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to save it, Lena. So hopefully I'll do a good job. Hey, should I close my blinds, people? I have them really open right now, but I could do this. Is this better? Am I talking too loud? Oh, the stupid things that you think about. This is better? Okay, good. I'll leave it like this then. But yeah, don't worry about it. You go study because I know that you're going crazy with uni, so this will be here. Oh, good. All right, so everyone's liking it. Yay. It is so hot here today. And in California, if you're like anywhere near the beach, I'm talking like 10 miles near the beach, you don't. Oh, thank you. Love you too. Oh, there she is. All right, so go live. Oh, what was I saying? Oh God, my brain farted. Oh well. Hi. Oh, you know what? I have to turn the volume up so I can hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Are you there?
Sorry it took me so long. I wasn't following you.
Oh shit!
Like,
the nerve!
Why isn't it showing up on my screen? I was like, oh my God, I'm not following her. That was really embarrassing. I'm really sorry.
No, don't apologize because there's just so much on Instagram. It's so saturated. It's insane.
I know, and I forget, like, oh my God, I have to follow people. Anyway, how are you?
I'm doing good. I actually had, okay.
Yes.
So it's fucking, oh, that's what I was telling everybody. It's fucking hot as hell here.
How?
And because if you're like anywhere like 10 miles, 15 miles, something like that, like in, near the shore,
Yeah.
You don't get air conditioning.
What do you mean? You don't get air conditioning in your home?
There's no air conditioning in the home. So you basically just melt. I don't know, because they're stupid.
Even I have air conditioning and I live in London.
No, but London's like the East Coast. It gets hot and humid.
Yeah, it's not been hot today. We're going through like a spring phase, like 16 degrees today. It's like cold. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad.
Summer is over.
Well, yeah, and for us, summer is like not necessarily starting, but we're getting those like spikes of heat waves. So yesterday and today, and probably tomorrow are like 90 degrees or higher. So the apartment gets like 90 until like 8 o'clock at night, and you're going,
that's horrible.
It's awful. It's awful. We have all the fans running. All the windows are closed. We have a window like near the roof that I cracked open like that much just to vent the air out.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, no, we don't open anything until 6 o'clock. You don't open anything.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, we don't have that here. It never gets to 90, I don't think. Oh, God. So, yeah.
Disgusting.
Well, good.
And huh?
It's morning, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock a.m. and I can't believe that I made it on time. I took an ibuprofen first thing as I woke up because I'm like, no, I need an ibuprofen 800 because it's not going to work.
Hi, Yasmin. Oh, Yasmin's just joined. All right, okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, yeah, so it's only 11 o'clock. That's not bad. So I've stayed up so late to be able to do this. 7 o'clock.
I know, and that's why I'm like so damn grateful because it's like Jesus, this body is my skin looks great, but my body's failing me. And I have to say, first off, what you were saying about which I threw it in the garbage, the Curology, you had told me before that the niacinamide and the azelaic acid would cause me problems. By the
Yeah.
8th day, I had burning and splotches all through here.
Oh God.
And I think I told you that, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, you need to get it out. Yeah, stop using it. This is, now that's 0.01, 0.01. For those of you getting confused, it's not 0.1, okay?
Yeah. Oh
This
yes,
is
that's
0.
peak. Yes, the
Yeah,
Curology
this
is
is
peak.
so much. I'm not having any problem.
Yeah, well, see, azelaic acid does that. So it's not that niacinamide doesn't really do that, but it's azelaic
It's
acid
azelaic acid.
that made you all
That's what I
red.
thought.
Yeah, and I just
It
had
was,
no, it's bad. I just had another patient today. She used azelaic acid over one night because she was waiting for her tretinoin out, and she was like, "Oh no, I'll just use that while I'm waiting." I'm like, "Okay." And this morning she sent me an email like, "My face is really red." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the azelaic acid."
yeah, I put it on here because I thought, okay, well, you know what? I don't want to waste this on my neck, and
Yeah,
necessarily, and I still have the other stuff left over. So I threw it on my neck.
yeah.
It's like, okay, don't do that again. That's eczema.
So that's the Curology, the 0.01 with the point. Wait, sorry, they put azelaic acid in their tretinoin. Is that what they do?
Yeah, here, I'll show you.
Yeah, because Yasmin's watching this. If she's still there, you guys don't compound azelaic with. I can't see that. It's upside down.
Okay, so it's niacinamide 4%,
Yeah.
tretinoin 0.01, so really, really low.
Yeah, that's a weird.
And then
yeah.
And then 2% azelaic, how do you say that? Azelaic
Azelaic
acid?
acid, 2%.
Azelaic acid, yeah.
That's yes. So Maddie just asked, "Is this going to stop the redness?" And like, yeah, it does stop. So usually, if you were to use it every a couple days in a row, you would the redness would go. But so Yasmin, my question. So Yasmin, I don't know if I should say this, but Yasmin is a pharmacist of Dermatica, and she's just, oh yeah, you guys you're not compounding the azelaic. Are you ever going to compound azelaic acid with tretinoin? I don't think they are, because I don't know how Curology does that, to be honest. Like, I don't know how they're able to do that. We'll see if Yasmin responds.
Oh, she's from Curology?
No, she's from Dermatica.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, thank God. Because they were going to do that with me. They were going to put not azelaic. They were going to put niacinamide, and I begged them. I'm like, look, I've got sunspots that I want to get rid of because I still. Thank God this is gone. I had a huge spot here.
Yeah.
But that was like in my mid 30s to like my 40s, and then I had a huge one right here from all my lovely sun worshiping. Yeah. That was all I had, thankfully, and now all I just have is like tiny little spots everywhere, and I'm going, you know what, no, I don't like this.
Those will go with the hydroquinone. But yeah, so Yasmin just responded, and she said they haven't done the stability that it's really difficult to get like an acid to be stable with a retinoid. So that's the issue. And I think, isn't that right, Yasmin? She's there. She's talking to me.
Yeah, I have acne
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they haven't been able to get that stable. And I don't really know any other compounding lab that can do that besides Curology. So I don't know what their magic juice is.
I don't either. I'll just say this: it irritated the crap out of my skin. They tried to blame it on the tret, and I'm like, no. I spoke to Dr. Natalia. She said no. Yeah. And they're like, well, we don't think that you could use our product. I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Later.
But the azelaic acid redness does go away. I mean, I had that. I only tried it a couple days, and I had the redness still, but it will go away. But it's not even as strong. It's only at 2% azelaic acid. Like,
well, and that's the thing that killed me is that. Oh, see, and I did, and I guess that's only for acne, right?
So azelaic acid is a weird one, but yeah, Yasmin just said rightly that they probably are able to put the azelaic acid with a tretinoin because they use so little tretinoin, and that's true. It's a 0.01 is like nothing. But yeah, so I only use azelaic acid with patients as like a and it's sorry, she just said it's a 0.09% azelaic acid. Oh, but you told me, Kat, it's 2% on your bottle.
Yeah, on the Curology it was 2%.
Okay, so she has a slightly different one, Yasmin. So what? Because I've seen the other Curology one. But yeah, so no, with azelaic acid, like for a long time, I've only ever used azelaic acid as like a third line treatment for
Maddie,
rosacea or acne, normal acne.
Okay.
So not as,
So if you have eczema, are you going to say yes to azelaic acid?
I wouldn't use it for eczema. I don't use it for anything as a first line treatment. So it's like, I'll use it in a pregnant woman if I'm not having good luck with benzoyl peroxide and salicylic to deal with acne, or, you know, it's like, it's one of these like things I just like add in if the patient really wants to use something. And I'm like, okay, well, this is safe.
And I even told him, I'm like, look, I haven't had an eczema flare up since I was a teenager, but I do have eczema, so I have to be careful with that. I've got dry skin, well, dry skin, and then I've got the oily T-zone. And, you know, I told them about the sunspots and everything, and they're like, oh, okay, well, this is what you want. And I'm going, oh, shit, niacinamide.
Well,
because remember how I started?
Yeah, I mean, the niacinamide is one of these tricky ingredients, too, because it's like, it basically is meant to do everything. And so whenever an ingredient like does everything, then I'm like, well, really? And it's not been super well I mean, I don't think it's harmful. And if you want to add it in, that's fine. And it maybe has some anti-inflammatory activity or whatever. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's magic on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and I'm definitely learning that, because I mean, like I bought this thing because of course the niacinamides, and they're like, oh, it does this, that, and the other. Now I always have redness here, and it didn't take the redness away. So I'm going, that's not doing shit. Whatever people are saying about niacinamides.
I don't, you know, I just don't think it does very much. Like, but the thing is,
they're making everything magical. And it's like, no, guys, it's not magic.
No, it's not magic. So thing is, I think like it's not gonna hurt most people, so it's not a big deal. But on the other hand, I don't know. I like to keep things really simple, so I'll just put ingredients into my compounding products or whatever that I know are gonna be helpful. So I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't just add something in just in case it's just anti-inflammatory. You know, it might be.
Yeah.
So let's just put it in there just in case. Like it's not.
Okay, so
it makes sense. Yeah. Go ahead.
Curious, like what is it that you mix in with your tretinoin when you're prescribing it to somebody? Like let's pretend that you were prescribing it to me.
Okay.
Again, dry skin, sensitive. Obviously, I'm having flare-ups because everything going on, which I haven't had before.
Yeah.
Again, very dry skin, very oily here, and sunspots. And I want to get rid of my wrinkles.
You want everything.
Not all of them, but you know what I mean, because I know it's not a miracle.
Yeah, so for you, I would, because you have the eczema background, we would want to keep you, you know, not flare the eczema up. So I would do you a relatively low strength of tretinoin, not 0.01, because that's a little bit too low, but like 0.025, which is usually what I start people at. Then I would give you hydroquinone, but at a slightly higher strength, like maybe 6%. Or a little bit higher. Oh,
they gave me 4, which isn't bad.
Which
but
is
yeah,
not bad.
They gave me 4.
That's the legal limit in most states, 4%. Yeah, I don't know what in California it is. So yeah, so 4% is, and then
probably
the UK,
California.
Yeah, in the UK I can get 10%, and in Dubai I can get 8%. So it depends where I am. Okay. So depending where you are, that's going to change it. So 0.025 tret, I would give you some hydroquinone, and for you, I would also give you hydrocortisone in it.
So wait a minute. I can actually put my hydrocortisone on top, or mix a little bit in?
You not mix it in, but yeah, you could, because it took for you, because I don't want to push you into having any eczema. Then I would do it for like the first 1 to 3 months, depending on how you respond. And I can go up to like 2.5% hydrocortisone in there if I think you're really going to be bad.
Okay, so right now I've been putting the 2.5 here because, again, flare-ups from all the stress.
Hydrocortisone, yeah.
Yeah, and then what I was doing, because I was told that this was eczema, which it's not going away. So I've been putting like the 1% and the 2%, like going back and forth here.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid that the tretinoin might do something.
Well, it might.
But I was like, oh my God, what if, you know? But no, this is like, now that I don't have the Curology formula, my face is happier than a clam. I do have the dryness here, but Emma, thank God Emma, and I were talking, and she's like, no, stop using all the stuff you're using and just go back to the basics.
Yeah, Emma's very wise. Yeah. She's full of wisdom. So yeah, you should listen to Emma.
And what sucked is that, you know, you've got all this stuff that you've collected, these magic potions that you've collected over the years.
Potions, those ones.
Huh?
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah. Do you know, I got lucky though. I got lucky because I got this stuff through BoxyCharm for almost nothing. And that's the only way that I'm willing to try this stuff. Because it's like, yeah, you're $90 for what?
That's how I feel about it. Like, what am I spending money on? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, no, you know. Oh, and then this little thing, this cracks me up. QMS, this tiny little thing,
Yeah.
$125.
You did not pay $125.
No, I paid $12 on
Okay.
BoxyCharm.
Okay, that's
Yeah, because this is,
American thing.
I know better. I'm in marketing. I know that all this stuff is marked up bullshit to pay the CEO to live off his life in like the Caymans for the rest. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I use it, but now I use it just because it's a cream. It's not magic. It's not going to do shit.
You said it. I didn't have to say it.
I will say it because I know that
said
people will get on your ass.
Yeah.
I will say it because I have no problem.
I'm
And I
not
will say this.
So.
I've tried all this stuff. Now, this surprisingly does like puff it up, but you have to use it for $150, which thankfully, again, I didn't pay.
What is that?
I don't pay.
You don't pay for this stuff.
No, you don't pay for this shit. When I saw the price, I'm like, well, I'm never using that again. But then I find out that it has like some sort of yam product where if people have like endometriosis, it could cause reactions to your endometrium. And I'm going,
What? That's not even possible. You'd have to like absorb it into your uterus.
probably, but I'm going, you know what? Yeah, no. So it was funny because I was telling Luis, who's my ex, for those that don't know, and I've tried the retinoids. These don't do shit.
What's that?
This
Retinol?
retinol. This is a dermatologist. I'm not even going to call him one. He is a skin beauty whatever who sells his retinol creams. I've tried all this shit. It doesn't do crap. It wasn't until I started using the Tret, like you said, and I've been using this stuff for 2 years. Before that, well, 2018. Before that, I didn't put anything on my face.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't put sunscreen on my face because it irritates the crap out of my skin.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't do it. And I mean, you're out in the sun like you normally are. You're inside like you normally are. Windows have what, 90? They block 90% of UVA, UVB rays. So why am I going to put fucking sunscreen on my face when I'm That's like people wearing masks in their car. I mean, hello.
Yeah, the masks in the car thing. I understand our fear about coronavirus. The masks in the car? I don't understand. Yeah, they've stopped.
I don't
get it.
Or the people that stay at home like me all the time, washing their hands 50 times a day because coronavirus. It's like, guys, stop.
All right, I am so
sorry. That's how I feel about the sunscreen. It's like, guys, chill the fuck out. It's a marketing gimmick. Like, drink shit tons of water to clean your face. No, I don't drink water. Look at my skin.
Well, the water thing is definitely not true. Yeah, so you're a skincare junkie and you used everything.
I'm not a skincare junkie. I'm actually a vitamin junkie. I just started doing this because one day I looked in the mirror in 2018 and went, what's this? And I saw the crow's feet. They went down to here. And I'm going, no. Yeah, so I freaked out. And then these were like, they're just really deep. And I'm going, oh, no, this isn't happening. Okay. Well, now they're not because whatever the hell's in the tretinoin is puffing them up.
Yes.
And making them look good.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of inflammation there at the beginning too. But yeah, that's, I mean, all you really need to use is that product. And you're trying to find out which one the right one is for you. I don't think the Curology is the right one for you. So I would probably use the Dermatica one. I think that.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Dermatica until I can buy the Tret by myself direct with the hydroquinone by myself direct. But right now it's outrageous in the States.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why they do that in the States. The cost of everything is so high. I don't know how
you can get it
with it.
at discount
with your little
for $60. Otherwise, it's $200.
That's just nuts. Like, just go to Mexico for a weekend.
And they won't let us now because now they're telling us that if we cross the border with it, it is a controlled substance and you need a prescription. It's like, you know what? Go fuck yourselves. Fucking Big Pharma. Big Pharma, if you're watching.
Yeah, who's gonna check your like bag and see that it's in there?
Well, doesn't customs and shit? I mean, if they want to.
Nothing.
Oh, Border Patrol. You're right.
They don't have to stop you, but
I might do that.
Border Control is like from the TV. I can see that they're a bit crazy. Border Control is intense. So, but you know,
I mean, granted, I am pale as a ghost, but they still will, like, because of my dark hair, they'll still look at me like.
Oh, God. Yeah, they're intense too. American Border Control. I've never driven across the border of Mexico, but looks pretty intense.
I've done it in groups, but I've never done it alone. I'd be too afraid.
With a suitcase full of like tretinoin from some
Yeah.
Mexican
Can
pharmacy.
you imagine? What are you trying to do?
No, that's for my wrinkles.
Just for my face.
I need it. Oh my God, that's great. But you know, so have you heard of a new ingredient called Bakuchiol?
You mentioned that. What the heck is that?
Yeah, just I'm sure people have. Oh, hold on.
Bakuchiol?
Yeah, we have to answer these questions. That's what we have to do in a second.
Oh,
But,
that's true. Sorry.
sorry, we do have to answer the question.
So are you saying Tret should be OT? It should be.
Well, okay. The reason it's not is a safety concern. So that's because, technically speaking, you can't use it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, and that is almost certainly why it's not allowed to be bought over the counter. But every country is different. So in Mexico, you can. In Dubai, you can. In the States, you can't buy anything over the counter. So there's lots of rules. But yeah, this ingredient called, and this will touch a bit about the marketing business as well, because Bakuchiol, spelled Bakuchiol, and I'm sure, guys, comment if you've heard of this ingredient, because it's been all over Instagram just recently, I think.
Seriously?
Yeah, I do pay attention sometimes. But yeah, so Bakuchiol, people have been, yes, I thought in Spain, tretinoin is OTC as well. And someone came back and yelled at me for that a month or two ago, saying it wasn't. But I know it was. Yeah, so Emma, you know what I'm talking about, Bakuchiol, right? This new supposedly magic thing. Yeah, so anyway, sorry, I've been looking at the questions and it's hard to like talk at the same time.
Oh, actually, hey guys, can you hold off your questions until the end? We're gonna do, oh wow, we are running out of time. At 11:50, yell out to us and we'll go ahead and stop everything and start answering whatever questions you have as quickly as you can. How's that?
Yeah, we still have to, we'll probably need a little more time than 10 minutes. So we'll come to them in a second. But yeah, so Bakuchiol, wonder ingredient. So let's talk about that. So it's called they're calling it, the marketing machine is calling it a retinol analog, which basically means it is the same as retinol. And well, first of all, we know that retinol, so they're saying it's a plant-based retinol. It comes from some funky plant. I can't pronounce the name of the plant because it's like some weird word. So yeah, it's meant to come from a plant. And
the Coralifolia seed.
That's it. And they're trying to say that the plant, this Bakuchiol stuff has the same effect on the skin as retinol, which is interesting because from the evidence, retinol doesn't really have any effect on skin. So that's one jump. But let's just pretend for a moment that retinol does do something to skin and that Bakuchiol then therefore does the same. So if you're going to look at where that concept comes from, and this is really interesting where this concept comes from, they're quoting studies, okay? So, and I'm going to just whiz through this and try not to bore everyone to death. But basically, the way you show that an ingredient or a drug or anything has any efficacy is you do a randomized control trial and you take a placebo, like the vehicle, and you compare it to the ingredient of choice, so your test product. And then you do the comparison, okay? That's how you would then show that your new product does something. Has anyone done a randomized control trial of Bakuchiol? No. No,
I've never even heard of it until now.
No, they haven't.
Actually, I heard it on it from your other live with Dr. something, Dr. A, Curate something.
Yeah, Michelle, yeah. Spire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, so no one's ever
So it's a load of bullshit.
It's a load of bullshit. So no one's done an efficacy trial. What someone very clever, that not clever at all, what they did do is they were like, let's just give the cream to like 20 people for 12 weeks and see if their skin changes.
And let's clarify that. Yeah. Because we actually take those 20 people who are under 30, who have zero skin problems and look beautiful to begin with. And then, because that's just how marketing works.
Well, it's a marketing trial. So I call that a marketing trial. But that, in terms of actual science, that is hogwash and means nothing. It's like you might as well just not bother. So, but then they use the companies that make these Bakuchiol products. They're like, oh, it's evidence-based and there's science behind it. And 90% of the women had an improvement in their wrinkles. And the study was published in this journal. And shock horror, and this what really upsets me, the study is published in a journal. It's like, oh, so it's like, what is the journal thinking? Like the thing.
Yeah.
this is the kind of thing where if I see it in a journal, I write a letter to the journal saying, WTF, why are you publishing this crap?
Yeah. Since when are you the inquirer of medicine?
Yeah,
I mean,
where's the peer reviewer? Like, what the hell is going on here?
yeah.
So basically you have that study for Bakuchiol where they basically just gave it to a bunch of people and said, let's just see how fabulous your skin looks. And then they did another study. This is only 2, by the way, but there's not been a vehicle control. They did the other study where they gave the Bakuchiol cream to people, and then they gave the retinol cream to another 20 people, and they followed them together. And they wanted to show that the Bakuchiol cream is just as good as the retinol cream over like 8 weeks or 12 weeks. It was 12 weeks. First of all, we know that retinol cream doesn't do anything, so we can just park that anyway. But in the study, they claim that the Bakuchiol cream is just as good as the retinol, but there was no placebo or vehicle. Yeah, and it wasn't blinded. So I'm like, well, the Bakuchiol people knew they were using Bakuchiol because they were using it twice a day, and the retinol was using it only at night. I mean, it was the most like unreal study I have ever seen. And the Bakuchiol products cost so much money. Guys, do not buy the
Bakuchiol.
products.
Yeah.
So
And don't waste your money on retinols.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't waste your money on retinols.
Don't bother with retinols.
Don't waste your money on anything that is not a good quality drugstore brand because it's all bullshit. Drunk Elephant, please.
I can't say that, but you can say that.
I can say that. I can say that. I spent the money on Drunk Elephant. It didn't do shit. I actually found that this actually did more. Okay, so for those of you with marketing, this thing is like ancient. For those of you with marketing, they say that they can fix your skin barrier. Can. These are marketing tricks. These are marketing words.
But it cannot because it will not.
Well, no, it can, as in other words, it might.
Is that what
it's
you
a
mean?
trick.
It might.
Yes. So where they can't say it might, they will say it may. So it's not saying it will. No, this does not say it will.
But they can't use the word will, can they? They can't do that.
No, they can't because it's a load of bullshit, which is why they use the words can and may and, you know, because they can't definitively say it does.
Yes.
So that's how they get away with so much bullshit because they have to be careful. Hey, this is what I used to do. So they have to be careful with the words that they use. As long as they don't say that a product absolutely does something,
yeah, they
can get away with it.
Yeah.
So again, it might, you know, evidence-based science has shown, not proven, shown.
Yeah, sure.
But do you see the difference?
Yeah, shown. But the evidence is so poor, like from a scientific point. And the thing is, you know what really upsets me is that there's doctors on Instagram, who I'm sure all of you will have seen, who talk about how Bakuchiol is this like amazing wonder ingredient. I'm like, have you read the paper? Because if you read the paper, you'd be like, what the you know, what is this? Like anyone with any kind of science background is going to look at this and be like, it's not even vehicle controlled. Like, are you all out of your mind? How did these get published? Like,
and like you said, it's all about making bank. I was watching, I don't even know his name. He's a guy on YouTube who's similar to Adam Ruins Everything. I'll have to look him up. But he loves to take things down like that. And what he was talking about yesterday was private equity vultures. Okay. And that's basically what it is, hey, look, you know, we're gonna buy into your company. We don't give a shit what you do, but you're gonna have to pay us this much, and we're gonna go ahead and let everyone know, you know, the world know how great you are.
Yeah.
But we get a huge percentage. So basically that's the bullshit that's behind, especially in America, every fucking brand in America.
Yeah, I can't comment about every brand. You could say that.
No, almost. Okay, almost. I'm gonna say the majority because it pisses me off. It really.
Oh, I mean, pisses me off. But like someone mentioned Medic 8 as a brand, and that's a British skincare brand. Their retinol is 210 pounds for 30 mil. Yeah. So I'm like, don't buy that. Please don't buy that, because they're like, oh, well, it has retinaldehyde in it, which is the one that's been proven. Actually, no, there's been a study shown that retinaldehyde does nothing over 12 weeks. So, you know, but then there is also a very dodgy study that shows that it does do something. So that is a bit of a nightmare. Yeah.
I've been seeing people like asking, oh, somebody's laughing about the clinically proven. Yeah. I've seen people asking, so wait, are you saying that tretinoin doesn't do anything?
No, not tretinoin. Retinol.
Okay. Yeah. And I think that's where they're panicking, because I know that for myself, I sometimes confuse tret and retinol, even though I don't confuse the two as in product, but I confuse the words.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for those of you who are questioning, tretinoin does work. It is not guaranteed to take away, like, I'm not expecting it to make me look 30, but it has, love that,
Yeah.
but it has taken my crow's feet and reduced them.
Yeah.
So don't expect to look, 20 years younger, especially if you're not taking care of yourself. But you will see something, hopefully. I mean, it's like with anything out there, you have a small percentage of people that aren't going to work. It's not going to work for.
Yeah, and some people can't like tolerate it. But I mean, the main benefit to me of tretinoin is when I combine it with hydroquinone and use it for pigmentation. So like I treat a ton of melasma, and for not your kind of pigmentation. So so Stephen is just asking what strength of tretinoin has evidence. Well, there's a couple different FDA approved or MHRA approved tretinoin types, and there's like the 0.02%, the 0.05% has FDA approval for the treatment of fine wrinkles. So all that means is that there have been at least 2 well-designed, high-quality randomized control trials that show that it has that effect against placebo. So that is what FDA approval means. That's what it is, and that's in order for a drug to get a license or for a specific indication. And that's what I mean by that. But there's tons of studies in tretinoin, sorry, like tons, but they're not all very good. That's the thing. But this is
right.
Yeah.
And again, I've seen a lot of people, especially that one person on one of your posts who's like, you're saying a tret doesn't work. And it's like, no, she didn't say that. She said it just doesn't prove that it's going to do something because I got what you were saying. She didn't.
I mean, I think people don't read, when I write posts like that, like I put a lot of thought into the way I write it. So you do have to read, guys, if you read my book, can you just read the whole thing before you make like
don't just focus on one thing. Because basically what she was saying is and the way that I got it was, okay, what she's basically saying is if tretinoin cannot claim definitively that it removes wrinkles, how the fuck can retinol claim it when it's less? So that's how I understood it, and the fact that they didn't get that, I was just like, ooh.
Well,
logic is not there.
I think people don't read things very carefully, which I understand because Instagram is all about images. But like those little blurbs, they have meaning. But someone just asked, if you get results with 0.025, is there any reason to go up? No, you don't have to if you don't want to. So the evidence of this is very mixed. It's really split 50-50, whether or not, you need to increase or not. So with patients, I just say to like work on this. I say, go up to the highest strength you can tolerate to use every night. I've never been able to go above 0.025%. So I will never go above that. That's where I'm going to sit forever, but it's going to be fine, I think. And
so for Dermatica people that, because like I just started this in May 22nd, the next one, they're already upping to 0.05. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's fast.
Yeah, so,
I mean, I don't care.
I used to work for Dermatica, or work with them, so I did have a bit of an issue with that. I was like, no, guys, we have to do this more slowly. But I didn't make those final decisions, so we didn't agree on that. And there's a lot. I don't agree with everyone on everything. So like
should I ask them to hold back?
Yes, you can ask them. So if you Emma uses 0.1. Yes, Emma, you are a machine. But so if you don't want to go up to 0.05. then just tell them that you don't want to. And I always encourage patients to like, just go and say to them, I'm not ready to go up to 0.05. Yeah.
And I guess I wasn't nervous because somebody else asked this too. I guess I wasn't nervous because the 0.25 isn't bothering me. So I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling any irritation.
Yes, you'll be fine if you go up to you'll probably be fine at 0.05.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna let him do it. And if it doesn't work, I'll just be like, oh my god, it's too much. Back off.
No. And if it's too much, what you do is you go down to every other day with the point, because you don't want to waste it, because you paid for it. So go down to every other day and use a 0.05 every other day. Just don't use it nightly. So, so like Nick said, I asked him to move me back down to 0.025. Yeah, and that's what. So the thing is, the problem with at the beginning for Dermatica, there weren't that many patients, so we were able to be a lot more kind of like, oh, what would you like to do this month? But now, because there's like thousands of patients, they have to have some type of a protocol. So then when patients change, they say, no, I don't want to go up in strength. So that's part of it as well. Just, you're not able to be as kind of like emailing every single patient every single day.
So Nicholas, can you let me know if they did give you the 0.5 and then you asked them to go back down? Just go ahead and type that in the comments just so I
I'm
have
pretty
the answer
sure
for
it would.
that.
Yeah, I know him, so I'm pretty sure that that's what happened with him.
It's probably, yeah.
Do you recommend brand
Brands.
name tretinoin over generic? Oh no, just go for the brand. Just go for the generic.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be a variability there, but generics have to show equivalence to brand in order to be allowed to be sold. So there are
And
rules.
actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to jump out real quick because I have a brand that I found out it is a generic brand,
Yeah.
and they're also my hydrocortisone. So I want to show the name of the brand.
Right. So,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
cheap.
go for it. I'm a big fan of generics. So yeah, Nicholas, you phone them. Yeah, generics are fine. I mean, there are a lot of people who will be like, oh no, the generic's not as good. Just try it yourself. And if you think that it's not the same, okay, it's upside down, but that's
Oh, it is?
well, because
Oh
it's
no, right here. Oh, it's backwards.
is it
It's called Perigo, and I think it's from like Ireland or Scotland, and it's Perrigo. I know that they have tretinoin because that's one that I can buy for like almost nothing here in the States, $30. So whoever's asking that, if you're in the US, go for the generics.
go for the
This
generic?
works for me in
So
terms of, yeah.
Beauty by Amazon, which would you recommend in the UK? So in the UK, you can only get a tretinoin on prescription. So for you would either get it from somewhere like Dermatica, which can do it online. So you do an online consult and then they post it to you, or you'd have to get a prescription from a doctor. And what is your opinion on arbutin versus hydroquinone? Oh yeah, no. Arbutin is not a real medicine. So just completely like don't even bother. That is just that's a marketing gimmick. That doesn't do anything. Hydroquinone is your number one. In Italy, I don't know what the rules are in Italy. I think Dermatica is in Italy, and if Yasmin's still watching, she can tell us whether you can get Dermatica in Italy. But and I don't know what the law is in Italy actually, but I'd like to know. So if anyone knows, yeah, it's getting dark in here now. Sorry guys, it's because of it's like nighttime. I'll have to turn the lights on. But yeah, so I don't know about Italy. So, oh, computer. Adapalene, is there much evidence for anti-aging? No.
Yeah. Okay, good.
No.
Good.
So yeah, with the adapalene, if that's the only thing you can get, because you're in the States and you can get adapalene at CVS, you can without a prescription. Then then yes, people are trying to show that adapalene is as good for anti-aging as tretinoin. It's not going to be, and it's just not possible. So, but I mean, if that's the only thing you can get, well, you can try it. Tretinoin for acne rosacea, yes, you can use it, but you have to be very careful with how you build into it. So because
And then tretinoin for acne scars too.
oh yeah, everyone keeps asking that. It depends what kind of scar it is. So if it's like an indented, like ice pick scar, then no topical is gonna help you. Sorry, but if it's like pigmentation, yeah, or something, that tretinoin can help definitely.
Yeah, because I know that I've had an ingrown hair here, and it's actually reducing the bump from that.
Yeah, it will do. Help clear out kind of the dead cells and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, dead cells. It'll help to de-stick.
Flatten it.
Yeah. Whatever. That's it.
Yeah, that thing.
Can tretinoin fade PIA left by CO2? Yes, but I would definitely use a hydroquinone for that, really. It's a very irritating. Anyway, yeah. Should we answer some of the Can you see all the older questions?
No, I don't know how to do this. You're my first live.
Oh, yeah. Does microneedling help with minor dented scars? Yeah, Nicholas, I have a post coming out about that this week, about microneedling.
Oh, good.
And basically, you have to do a lot of it for a long time. Yeah, it's like, so the studies suggest that it's like every 1 to 3 weeks for like a year. Like, no joke, it's like a commitment. And you have to do it properly, it has to hurt, you have to bleed. Yeah, microneedling.
I can't do needles.
No.
There's actually this thing here in the States that's going around called Profound RF. And yeah, and I was tempted, and I'm terrified of needles. I mean, pass out terrified of needles. And I'm thinking, shit, if that's the only thing that's going to work, I'm going to do it. But now that I've got tretinoin, who cares?
Yeah, so when he goes like, fuck that then. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so with like derma rolling, there's just no point in doing it yourself at home, because you're never going to get the depth, because you're never going to inflict that much pain on your own face. So
oh, I can answer you, Lotus. Lotus, you're going to die. It's really simple. All we need is stuff like this with the tretinoin. Start with tretinoin. Use something really basic like this. I They don't like the fact that I use baby wash to wash my face, but I do it because I have dry eyes and it was prescribed by my ophthalmologist.
Oh, they told me that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got like seriously dry eyes, like painfully dry eyes. Just very basic drugstore, and then get tretinoin.
If you're 50 plus and you have normal skin and no problems, then you can pretty much use anything. Yeah, I mean you pretty much can use any skincare you like, whatever bottle you like. It's all the same anyway.
Especially if you don't have sensitive skin. Like I have to be careful because I have sensitive. If you don't have sensitive, play around. I mean, but just whatever you do, don't waste your money on this bullshit.
Yeah, don't buy that expensive crap. It's just such a waste of money.
Moisturize.
Yeah.
Doesn't even moisturize.
No, totally. Does tretinoin help lighten melasma? Not really. You really have to combine it with something like hydroquinone in order to make it work. And oh yeah, so yeah, you do for lightening melasma. Tret is available over the counter in Dubai. Yes, it is. You can go to pharmacy and you have to ask for it. Need to but yeah, that's a good question. Would you recommend a retinoid over azelaic acid for papulopustular rosacea, very sensitive dry skin, and you also have comedones? I would imagine that you might not have rosacea if you have comedones. See, this is where diagnosis becomes really important. So someone who has acne, rosacea, and you're unlikely to have both at the same time. Okay, so they're different pathologies. So I would most likely say you have acne vulgaris, and we'll treat that separately. So sorry, I didn't answer that question, but yes. Can you use tretinoin in the summer? Yes, you can.
I mean, we're in California, desert weather here. Oh, by the way, 14% humidity.
Oh, nice and dry.
Yes,
that's nice. We like desert.
No.
Oh, dry is good. I guess it dries out your skin. Maddie says, I have comedones on my chin. Yeah, I would still be surprised if you also had rosacea, but I mean, I'd have to look at yours. Oh, your derm said you have both. I still don't know if you have both.
Yeah.
I don't trust other doctors. I have to see yours.
What are comedones?
Comedones are like little whiteheads, like not whiteheads, but they're little, the bumps. Then you probably don't have that. But if you have acne, you kind of stretch your skin, you can see little bumps. They're like pre-acne. You don't have acne.
I have like a cluster of little bumps right here that have like clear to white little tiny, I don't know.
Yeah, that might be.
He claims that it's eczema. I don't think it is.
So she says, I started Skinnerin. I'm not getting any acne. Yeah, I mean, if you have very mild acne, then azelaic acid can be good for that. I wouldn't be my first choice, but if it works for you, that's great. I mean, azelaic acid is a very kind of simple, I mean, if it works for you, if it doesn't burn your face, then awesome.
Somebody else asked about glycolic in addition to tret. You were saying, I think in the morning, yes, tret at night.
Yeah, I would, if you're going to want to use glycolic as well, I would use a glycolic in the morning because you don't want to mix it with your retinoid. You can't really do that because of tretinoin is a little bit unstable. Can tret help with scars caused from a car accident? You know what? I'd have to see the scars, but probably not because it doesn't have an effect like that on scars. Sorry.
For those asking for how long can you use tret, you can use it for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life. How long can you use Treclin?
Oh, Treclin gel.
Treclin gel is a combination of 0.025 tret and clindamycin. So it's an acne treatment. Well, you can use it as long as you want. The issue with using a topical antibiotic for a long time is about resistance, but I wouldn't worry about that. If it's working for you, just use it. It's fine.
Stretch marks? No, right?
No,
nothing.
Sorry. I do have a post about that somewhere. But
yeah, I think it's on your...
Yeah, somewhere on my feed. Okay, this are we missing?
Somebody asked about vitamin C. What's the evidence behind vitamin C?
So I've just finished doing a paper, so I'm just about to commence the vitamin C paper, which just means, it doesn't mean I haven't read the research, it just means that I have to organize it into something organized, which is hard.
People can actually read.
Yeah, so it's one thing for me to just have a pile of papers, just read through them and make my decision. It's another thing to have to present that to other people where I have to be able to do it systematically. So I'm doing a systematic review of vitamin C just to make sure that I can write it down because people keep asking me. And the evidence for vitamin C in vivo, so that means like a clinical trial where we give vitamin C to someone and then we give a placebo or a vehicle to somewhere else, that's not really done, okay? So Yeah,
I
sorry.
remember reading, no. I just remember reading, God, in the like 90s, in either the American Journal of Medicine or the whatever other one that was back then, how vitamin C was being used for skin something,
Wound
skin
healing.
wound healing.
Wound
Yes.
healing. Yes.
And then how women also, there was another one about how women should take 2 grams to help prevent osteoporosis to absorb calcium because we have a problem with absorbing calcium.
Yeah, I'm
So
not.
I've been taking 2 grams ever since then.
Yeah, I mean, taking it orally is different. Taking it different, but
Oh,
with
okay.
yeah, with
But
with
on the skin.
applying it topically, there's been a lot of work with looking at vitamin C use for like wound healing and like people with like serious injuries. But the actual looking at, because there is a good amount of evidence to suggest it does something as an antioxidant when combined with like vitamin E for sun exposure, and that's almost always been tested on like rat skin and like mouse skin and
And
like
you're talking topical, you're not talking
topical,
oral.
topical. So vitamin
Okay.
C combined with like vitamin E, and in a topical formulation. But virtually all of these studies are done on animal models or fake like skin models, or like sometimes on like an arm or a back. But there's very little on the face, which is a little bit odd because usually when you do a trial, it has to mimic the population it's meant to, be
Right.
used in. So we're not putting it on our butts, like we're not putting it on
Yeah.
mouse skin.
We're
We're
not
putting
putting it on tough skin. We're putting it
it
on skin
on
that's,
our
yeah.
faces. So if you're going to do a clinical trial of a facial skin product, you should want to do it on a face.
Right.
Right, yeah, and that's what's interesting about the vitamin C story. So I'm going back to then look through it all again because I remember reading all this stuff so long ago that I was not convinced by any of the other stuff I read that it was actually useful. But I'm going to go back and formulate again. So I'll get back to you about that. But at the moment, I wouldn't waste my 140 pounds on the little serum. So
Yeah, and if you're so desperate, seriously, for something with vitamin C, just go cheap.
yeah, just
Go cheap.
oh,
Go
but
cheap.
you know what's interesting that that skin, SkinCeuticals, it has the best selling vitamin C product of all time. So the 150, I think it's $150, the one in the little bottle. The brown one. Everyone knows that one. Come on, you've not tried that one. Do you even
No,
have?
I haven't tried any of them. I
Okay, good.
refuse
Go
to
try
pay
that one.
tons of money.
So yeah,
SkinCeuticals.
so this little bottle is like the best selling vitamin C of all time, and then your favorite brand, Drunk Elephant, came out with a vitamin C product as well, and
Oh,
yeah, so then SkinCeuticals is suing. Oh, it's 150 pounds. Yeah, thanks, Emma. SkinCeuticals is suing Drunk Elephant for copyright infringement. And I actually went to a friend's house last week, and she had it. She had the Drunk Elephant, and I'd never seen it before. I never like touched it, and I was like, "Oh my god, can I try this?" I like squirted a chunk of it on my arm, and it looks exactly the same as the SkinCeuticals one. I've seen the SkinCeuticals one. I was like, "Oh my god, it is a ripoff!" Oh, so
I can
yeah,
see that. I can see that.
yeah.
In other words, I can see how
They
they
copied
do
it.
that.
They just copy it. But sorry, what?
Oh, no. I was just looking at the SkinCeuticals because I'm like, okay, I've heard of SkinCeuticals, but I've never actually seen this because again, anything 150 pounds, I'm not paying
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm not paying it. Beauty by Anna. It's Dermatica. Oh yeah, Emma's gonna write that down for you. Thank you. Because if I start typing, I can't lose my screen and I won't be able to see the questions. I'm so bad at
Yeah.
using Instagram. Sorry.
Well, no, you're not bad either. I don't even know how. Oh, I can scroll down. Hello.
I'm glad we're learning
Oh,
today. We're learning how to
yeah.
use Instagram today.
Whee! Okay, so
Charlie
there's the
asked,
vitamin C one.
any advice for peeling and sensitive skin as a result? Yeah, so I would step back a little bit. So if you're having a lot of peeling from your adapalene benzoyl peroxide, I would go down to using it every other night until your skin gets used to it. And
Thank you, Deb.
that's the way to do it. Drunk Elephant, like I never tried that brand. Yeah.
Don't. Seriously. I wasted. Just don't do it, Tasha. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
Oh, and
But
I want to
so
show you guys something else while she's talking. Go ahead, keep talking.
let me keep talking.
Keep talking.
I think we've missed. We missed so many questions. I'm not even gonna go back. But yeah, the thing with the vitamin C, just you guys wait for me to do my little. I'm gonna do another review because the retinol review took me forever to do. So, but bloody hell, like the way that people do not know how to do clinical trials, it like blows me out of the water. Yeah. Anyway, what do you have there in that? Is that a Drunk Elephant container?
So I need to show people this because Drunk Elephant, first of all, claims to be, earth friendly and all that BS. I want you to see this. Okay, look at all this plastic. Plastic?
Is it recyclable plastic? Oh no.
No. Plastic. Look at how much you're
Why is
wasting.
there 2 containers?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Was
So
it-
this cost $68. And what you're really paying for is all this plastic.
But what product? What's it meant to do? Why isn't Why is it
So this, for some stupid ass reason, they do it this way because this is the pump. So you squeeze it down.
Airtight pump thing.
And I'm sorry, but you're wasting. Look at this. That's just a lot of
Packaging.
And this is
what's the
seriously
product?
thick. This is their Protini cream. Now I kept this because I wanted to do a whole YouTube on waste. And mind you, I'm not going to be here. I have no one that I'm leaving behind. So this world, in my opinion, because people don't care. You know what I mean? So it's not like I care like, oh yeah, I'm a tree hugger. No, it's like, don't talk about waste and being earth friendly when you're creating it.
Yeah, that's a lot of plastic. So someone just asked, what vitamin C do I recommend? I don't recommend any vitamin C brands or any vitamin C. So I wouldn't bother. Dr. Natalia, what do you think about advanced night repair? I think their marketing is fantastic, and I don't think it's anything special. But if you like it and it seems to moisturize for you or whatever, it's just a fancy moisturizer in an expensive bottle. Sorry. But
no, you're fine.
That's all I
Somebody else. Oh, that was, Emma, do you use, yeah, yeah,
she doesn't.
Their ingredient list is ridiculous, and they claim to be like so clean.
What about Profilo injections? Yeah, so I do think Profilo can have a subtle effect, but it has to be done on the right patient. So if you're like under the age of, I don't know, maybe 45, or if your skin doesn't need it, then I wouldn't waste your time doing it. I think you'll only see a result of it if you need it. So I only use Profilo in very specific patients, and I won't really inject it into someone who's like 25. That's not necessary. Or if a patient is adamant they want to try it, then I'm like, yeah, okay. So Profilo is a very concentrated hyaluronic acid, and you do 5 injection points on each side of the face, and it's meant to be a bioremodeler and a hydrator. So you inject the hyaluronic acid into here, 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 and here, and then it's spread.
So if I would want to fix this massive hollow that's making my face lopsided, I would want to do something like that?
No, you would need a proper filler for that, most likely.
Oh.
So Profilo is just like a very thin filler, and it's just meant to it's meant to go into the dermis and kind of mix in with your dermis and make it plumper and kind of stuff like that. Again, not super evidence-based, but if you're going to use a hyaluronic acid, I would recommend getting injected into your skin and not using it as a cream. So, because
So no?
Well, so
I stopped because.
Yeah, do you like that hyaluronic acid?
Well, I'm not going to lie. Since I've been using Tret, I don't need it. But when I was using all the amazing skincare products, yeah, I did need it because nothing was moisturizing my skin. So.
Yeah. So, well, okay. So hyaluronic acid, it's one of these wonder ingredients, and the idea of putting it on topically came from the fact that we inject it into skin as a filler. So, I mean, there's so many issues with hyaluronic acid. I don't even know where to start. But one thing I will say is, you know how they say it absorbs 1,000 times the weight in water or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's in your bottle. What's the first ingredient on that bottle of your hyaluronic acid?
I think it's water.
It's water.
Yeah.
It's water.
Oh, of course, there's no list on here, but yes, it's water because I remember looking up the ingredients.
Water. So
yeah.
I don't understand what happens. Isn't the hyaluronic acid absorbing 1,000 times its weight in water, like in the bottle? So
yeah,
I don't understand when you apply it to your skin, what's going to happen? It's already saturated with water because it's in water.
Yeah.
Sorry. So that was me.
No. I'm glad that you're getting. I'm just like thinking of like all the other stuff that like. Okay, then there was also the squalene hype. Oh, now, you were saying about olive oil, not being good for your skin, and I went, oh, okay, I'm not using that anymore.
Squalene comes from olive oil, so I don't even know, but squalene is Is it? Okay, oops. Well, yeah, no, I'm not a fan of olive oil either. But no, I mean, the thing is with the hyaluronic acid, I mean, first of all, it's in water. So how is it supposed to act as a humectant when it's on your skin? It's already absorbed all the water. Second of all, anything that penetrates the skin has to have a molecular weight of less than 50 kilodaltons. There is no hyaluronic acid molecule that is less than 50 kilodaltons. Even low molecular weight hyaluronic acid is not that small as a molecule. So there's no way it's gonna, I mean, this is just nonsense. So
You know, and I'm glad that you're saying that, because this was like the one thing that I did spend money on. And I mean, it's a big one. Okay, fine. But this is like $37.
But it's not pure hyaluronic acid, because what's on the ingredient list?
No, because it's like 1%, I think. Let me see here. I'll look at.
Guys, sorry, I don't mean to be like a ranting lunatic, but like,
no, yes, you do.
I mean, but honestly,
Come
like,
on.
what the hell are they writing on this packaging? It's like, this is such ridiculous. You know, there's a couple of companies that really upset me when I read. I can't even read. I cannot even read the website.
You get pissed like I do.
Yeah. I am just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
The 1,000 times it's water. Look, it's such a great hydrator. It's in water. Anyway, so.
Yeah. And you know, I didn't know, honestly, I personally, until I started following you, did not know that water, and then I thought about it, that water actually causes drying, just like alcohol. Because if you leave your hands under running water, nothing else, just running water, and you pull them out and you dry your hands are dry.
Your hands are dry. Yeah.
So for people that love to sit there and say, you know, first off, the heavy water drinkers, no, in my opinion, you're drying out your skin because you're stopping all the natural hyaluronic acid in your body from doing what it's supposed to do. You're diluting it. My own easy thinking. All right, let me see here.
So there's a question about injectable. So injectable hyaluronic acid, like for example, someone asked about skin boosters. That's totally different from applying it to the skin. So the concept there is, if you inject this very thin hyaluronic acid directly into the dermis, it'll then kind of be a humectant in your dermis and make your skin look plumper and healthier. Am I convinced it does that? No, but I have patients who really want it done, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to promise magic, but we'll do it. It's not something I don't ever try to sell anything to anyone, but if I wouldn't ever try to push it on someone, though I don't ever push anything, but I wouldn't like suggest it. Like I know if you came to see me clinic, I would be like, hey, you need a skin booster. I would not do that. The only reason I ever do it is if someone comes to me and asks me, and then I talk about it. I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, I mean, that's where it comes from. Using hyaluronic acid as a volume replacement, like for lips or for cheeks or for what you're talking about, Kat, like with your like hollow area, that's a totally different thing. That's like minimally invasive surgery. That's in a way, because you're injecting a solid thing into someone's face.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, I would like love eventually to, but that's why I'm doing Tret first, because I'm like, let me just see if I'm happy with that. But I would love to lift this side of my face, because I notice that it does, you know, it sags, and I've got this huge, you know, hollowness in here and whatever. But that's for a different thing. Before we go too far, we're almost out of time. Do you want to bounce back on for a little bit longer, or do you want to hold off until?
I'm happy to do whatever. Time. If people want to talk more about, there's lots of questions. If people want to talk,
there's lots of questions.
We'd have to turn it off and start again, because otherwise we're gonna get kicked off.
Yeah, and I got to save it, so that I got to figure out how to do that. So give me a couple of minutes, guys, because I want to make sure I save this one for everybody. But if everyone's cool with us bouncing back on, we're going to bounce back on. Really quick before all these, save all your questions. Don't post any more questions.
I'm just trying to see other questions. Don't expect dryness in the first 2 use of tretinoin. Yeah. What do you want the ordinary? Oh, don't even get me started. No. What do you think about PHAs? Yes, I like Neostrata as a brand but only for keratosis pilaris. Oh, Lotus Lisa saying, are these skincare shenanigans allowed? Yes, they are.
No, she was saying why, and I'm going to answer why, because we allow it. We, as the consumer, allow it. We allow it. Exactly. We have to kick back. First of all, I'm going to tell you something really quick, which we're going to get cut off. We set the price point for everything.
True.
It's a marketing trick. It's a marketing trick. We set the price point. So when people sit there and go, oh my God, that really felt really good, I'm going to say that it's worth $50, when in reality it's worth $2. You guys, we're all setting the price point. So, okay, I don't know what to do. Should we just go ahead and...
You have to stop the video and save it. It'll ask you to save it. So I'm just looking at my clock. It'll ask you to save it. Right? Is that what's going to happen, guys? It's going to ask her to save it?
Yeah, it's going to ask me to save it, which I want to do, but then I want to bounce right back. So can I save it to my phone and then bounce right back up? Anybody?
That's what you can do, right?
Please, someone.
I'm pretty sure that's what you can do.
I'm pretty sure. All right, so let me do that really fast, and we're going to come right back on. So be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, yeah, I'll be back.
Go. Cancel.
Are you sure you want to end? Yes.